characters and past our actors, we got the storyline. How good is the story in this movie? Now let's go into it. Now for the main part, the main issue, the main trouble, the main plot of this movie is just a mob boss who has his coke stolen from him and his money stolen from him, and he wants revenge. We've seen it a million times. It's not impressive. We've seen it before. Yes, it's a classic storyline, but I was hoping for something different, something a little bit more epic out of this. Now, while you've got the side stuff on it with like Dave and Katie getting their little love interest relationship going on here through the whole scene of where she thinks he's gay, and then he finally comes out and is like, hey, I'm not gay, and everything. But the side storyline was enjoyable. Watching the whole conflict of him being kick-ass and himself, and watching and learning about Big Daddy and Hit Girl. I love the way they did their backstory. It fits so well. The comic style that they did for their backstory was perfect. It was done great. I loved it. But as for the most part, the cookie cutter storyline disappointed me. That is my biggest complaint with the story, was how cookie cutter the main issue was. So I'm going to have to sadly give the storyline a 7 out of 10, which is not that good of a score for the storyline. I was hoping for more out of this, but hey, I was also expecting this to be a freaking epic movie. So I guess 7 out of 10 is great in comparison.
The bad professor. I'm the bad professor.
But this is an action movie, so what do we have to have? Action sequences. How good were the freaking action sequences? This is the coup d'etat of an action movie. If it does not have action sequences that just blow you away, the movie's not worth watching. And I will say the action sequences in this movie were good. Even the ones where Kick-Ass was just getting the crap kicked out of him, those were good too. Yeah, well, the one where there's one of them that was. The other one was it was very short. But I can't really explain the action sequences. They were well done. The best thing I can do is I want to count down my top 3 favorite action sequences of this movie. So here we go. Number 3. Okay, reason this one made it onto the list is because this little girl makes Angelina Jolie from Wanted look like a wuss. She looks like a little pretty kitty that you just pet and you're not afraid of. This little girl's freaking psychotic. She's just everywhere. It's just great. I loved it. Number 2. Okay, now there was a complaint about this action sequence as it was near the end. They got into this whole darkened scene and flashing lights and everything, which is very distracting in an action sequence because it takes away from what's happening. The reason this made it to my number 2 is how well they did the whole first-person style section of this. They tried to do first-person in Doom, and they did okay. They didn't do it very well. This movie topped them on that. They kicked the crap out of Doom for the first person. It actually felt like you were watching a first-person shooter game. I don't even like first-person shooters. I don't play them. They bore me. They're too easy. And yet I actually like this scene. It was done well. But hey, how about if those are my top 2, what's my number 1? And here's number 1. Okay, you might be looking at me like I'm crazy, but yeah, this is a very standard action sequence. It's very standard. There's nothing over the top spectacular about it other than the fact that a little girl was cutting people to shreds. It's very standard. The reason I love this action sequence is for one reason. Everyone just shh. Yeah, It's that freaking song! That song makes no sense. It's like, it sounds like a children's show theme song. That's what it sounds like, which is awesome. It's like taking SpongeBob and putting it over the 300 or something. It's taking freaking, any other kids' shows and just putting their theme song over an action sequence. Here, let's just give you a little example right now.
And pull yourself up a chair. Put the button in time to let down your hair. TV to what it's party, so it's fantastic and inviting. So wacky, TV Playhouse.
How awesome is that? It makes no sense, and yet you can't help but love it. It was great. But okay, so that's my number one. Altogether, you can see that the action sequences are well done. They were enjoyable. They were exciting. So all in all, I'm going to give the action sequences a good 9 out of 10 for them. Now, for the last part, this is also a comedy, so the comedy has to be good as well. Now, here's my issue with the comedy. It doesn't stand the test of time. I've watched it twice already, and I laughed to the jokes, well, some of the jokes the first time through, and the second time, I didn't laugh once, really. The jokes just don't stand well. They are good for a one-time hit. That's about it. The only real reason to watch this movie is for the different storyline and for the great action sequences and freaking Big Daddy. Yeah, I can explain. Big Daddy is freaking awesome, okay? He can make any movie awesome. So, but as for the comedy, I'm going to give the comedy a 5 out of 10 because the jokes just didn't last well for me.
The bad professor. I'm the bad professor.
So all in all, the movie, it was good. I would say that the total score I would give this is a 7 out of 10. And that's not that great by standards, but if you compare it to what it could have been, epic movie, disaster movie, superhero movie, scary movie, Meet the Spartans, yeah, all those, it did quite well. But you don't have to take my word for it. This is just my opinion. This is just what I thought of it. This is just my own little scoring system that's in my head. I don't have to explain it to you. I'm the professor. Why would I have to explain that? Come on. But nonetheless, that was what I thought of it. It's a good, fun watch. If you're not offended by crude humor, a lot of language, and some definite violence, yeah, it's good, fun watch. Give it a chance. Give it a try. Go watch it. See what you think of it, and yeah, make your own opinion of it. Because you know what? That's one of the few things that they haven't taken from us yet is our own opinions. We still have that. Go make your own opinion of the movie. This is just mine. Nonetheless, I'm the professor, and you've just learned something new. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.